Hi friends, my name is Sydney Nitskorsky. I have a 5 to 10 minute summary on the most effective strategies for weight loss, things that I've done with clients for the last 20 years as a registered dietitian and a fitness instructor. And I wanna boil everything down, give you the most important parts of it, and keep it really short and simple, because I think sometimes that's what we retain the most. If you can, listen to this while you're walking, maybe on the treadmill, maybe outside, on the bike, on the elliptical, something like that, if possible. So the first thing I talk about when I talk about weight loss is calories. In order to lose weight, somehow you need to find a way to take your calories down a little bit compared to what you've been doing. So people often ask me, Sydney, how many calories should I eat to lose weight? That is such a hard question to answer, and I've actually stopped giving out a number because it's too much of an estimate. For me to give you a number, there's so much lost in the estimate. And for you to try and get to that number, one, it can be a little obsessive to try and count calories and get to that number, but it's also not always super accurate. People tend to either underestimate what's in their food or overestimate what they're burning in exercise, so it doesn't always come out to be super accurate. However, it does come down to calories, and I do always encourage people to think about calories more in terms of comparison. So think about what you were doing yesterday. How can we find a way to come down just a little bit? Not a lot, and that's really, really important. When weight loss is really fast, I know that gets exciting and people love it, but it's not sustainable and ultimately doesn't do good things for our metabolism. So the first thing to understand is that 1 pound of fat is worth 3,500 calories. That's really important. I'm gonna say it again. A pound of fat is worth 3,500 calories. So what does that mean? To make the math easy, let's say we wanna lose a pound a week, and honestly, sometimes that's too fast. 1 to 2 pounds can be healthy, but I have found with my clients, 0.5 pound to 1 pound is really more realistic. We'll get more into that in a second. But if we take those 3,500 calories that we're trying to eliminate to lose 1 pound, and we divide that into 7 days in a week, that means 500 less calories per day. So rather than saying you should eat X many calories a day to lose weight, I'll say this. Here's yesterday. We need 250 to 500 less every day to lose 0.5 pound to 1 pound per week. And that's the way I prefer to think about weight loss. Taking out calories, small amounts, 250 to 500, depending on what you were doing. If you were eating 4,000 calories, going to 3,000 would be safe and fine. If you're eating 2,000, going to 1,000 would not be. That'd be too much of a deficit. And the body reacts really negatively. You might lose weight quickly, and then the body goes, oh my gosh, I might starve. The response is to pull the metabolism down, which is not helpful for sustainable weight loss. So how do we get those 250 to 500 less calories a day? The first thing I like to do is really focus on what your most challenging part of the day is. And people usually have a good idea of what this is. So take a second and think about what that is for you. Is it maybe you eat too many sweets, which is something I've dealt with my whole life, something I talk about with clients all the time, too many sweets. Maybe it's too many salty, savory snacks after dinner, or maybe it's too much in the afternoon. I hear that a lot of the time. I've had my lunch, I'm exhausted, I still have 5 hours left in my workday. The afternoon is really a time when I start to overeat. So think about what your challenging part of the day is, or type of food. However, maybe it's not a time of day, maybe it's a type of food like sweets. And find a way to pull back on calories. So for that one challenging part, I do like to put a calorie amount on it. Again, I can't tell you exactly what it should be. It has to do with what it was. So if you know, and you can sort of think about the last couple of weeks or maybe years and say, okay, I've been doing 600 calories in dessert a night. Maybe you can pull it back to 300. That would get you to lose over 0.5 pound a week, at least in the beginning, and that changes. Maybe it's only 200 and you can go down to 100, but you can add in a little bit of exercise to increase how many calories you're burning. Although if you just add tons and tons of exercise, you tend to be hungrier. So we'll talk about that in another short episode. So figuring out what your biggest issue is. A lot of people say, I just overeat at night. I sit on the couch and I overeat and I'm just eating too much. So again, you can put a caloric number on it, think about what you're doing, and then see what's reasonable. Going from 1,000 to 100 probably isn't reasonable. Going from 800 to 500 probably is. And some days will be great and some days won't be, and that's okay. The goal is to keep this consistent, to just continue on. One other thing is that if the issue is, in the afternoon I just really want to eat, or at night I really want to eat, another suggestion I always have for people is go for fruits and vegetables. You can eat as many fruits and vegetables as you want. it's not that there's 0 calories in them, but you do get a ton of nutrients. You get a ton of fiber, which is something else that's very helpful for weight loss, increasing your fiber, as long as you increase your water. And that's another one for weight loss, is increasing your water. I'm not gonna tell you what to eat because there's just not time in this short little video, but I will say the more balanced you are, protein, carbs, and fat, the better off you feel. I never encourage people to completely take out carbohydrates for weight loss. I think that's a really bad idea, especially for sustainability. Short term, fine, but sustainable, no. So I want you to think about calories. I want you to think about ways to pull back just a little bit, fly under the radar. Don't set off any red alarms to your body saying, I'm gonna starve. Just come down a little bit on calories. Maybe that's exercising just a little bit more. Maybe it's eating just a little bit less, drink enough water, have enough fruits and vegetables, get enough fiber, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats. I will do another one of these videos soon, but I hope you got something out of this short weight loss video. Again, my name is Sydney Nitskorsky. I have tons of short fitness videos on this site as well, so I hope you'll subscribe and try one of them. And lastly, I hope you have a great day. Bye.